welcome to Anne Marie's Workshop. My name is Anne Marie and I love to make things with joy. If you like to make things with joy or just watch people make things with joy, you have found the right place. Please like, subscribe, and share. This video was filmed several months ago before the hashtag #SewReversible2023 challenge actually even started. I had the idea to make this harmonic set by Pattern Fantastique to make it reversible. So I'd like to introduce this. It's from a long time ago. My cousin Claire was visiting. So I don't know, I think maybe this was in May or some time ago. But I think you might enjoy it. It is a sew along to the Pattern Fantastique's harmonic top and bottom. I think you'll like it. Oh, by the way, if you have been sewing some reversible things, please make sure you put the hashtag on there so I can find you. Only 1 week, almost 1 week until it's time to draw prizes. And so today I'm going to work on the harmonic set, a sew along. My cousin Claire is in the house from England, and so she'll be in the workshop with me. So let me go ahead and show you what I have cut out so far on this harmonic set. Sorry. Okay, so I cut out piece E, which is bias binding for the pocket as well as the to go around the edge of the pocket. This is the harmonic wave, the bottom of the sleeve, and I have cut it out in purple and black because I think I'm gonna make it reversible. I don't know, we'll have to see. This wave might be too much for me. That was the skirt bottom. This is piece G, and this is the sleeve bottom, and it's cut out in purple and black. Then I have cut out the back, I think so, the back of the top in green because that's going to be the base color no matter what. Then I have the pockets for the top of the skirt. Then I have the neckline edge. I have it cut out in black and purple. Y'all pray for me that this works out. And then I have the skirt, the middle skirt in that beautiful green. Then I have the front of this pattern right here with that keyhole neckline in the green and the sleeve. Here we go. The first thing I did was to cut out interfacing that matched the facing of the neckline. I decided to add the interfacing to the black neckline facing, so I pressed that in place. The next step was to add the darts to the front of the bodice. Now, because the darts are going to show on both sides, I pressed and then stitched them in place. It's time to French seam the shoulder seams on the bodice from the front to the back. The reason I did French seams is because it was going to be reversible and I wanted to have the ability to give the same look on the front as the back. So that meant that I was going to not only do the full French seam where I stitched, trimmed close to the edge, turned it over, pressed it in place, and then also stitched it down. So there's going to be top stitching. The next step was to make the drawstrings that appeared inside the keyhole front facing. Now, frankly, I found that this was the trickiest part of making the blouse in the harmonic set. You're going to have to assemble the two different colored facing pieces, neck front facing pieces, the purple and the black. And then after you've done that, you are going to apply them to the neck edge of the front and back blouse pieces. So you're going to stitch them both on one side. In other words, the black and purple are going to face each other, and they're also going to be placed face down on the green neck edges of the top. So I also stitched along the edges of these pieces because I knew eventually after I assembled it that I was going to turn these pieces, turn the neck edges under and have to hand stitch them in place because of the duality. So as you can see here, I'm adding the facing pieces that are right sides touching to the front side of the front and the back neck edges. I'm going to pin them in place and stitch. After stitching it in place, I trim close to the edge. I'm careful not to break go into the neck stitches. And now it is time to apply the entire piece. So I'm going to have to put those, I'm going to have to insert those ties into the place where they're going to belong. So I thread them through. As you can see right here, I thread them through, and they're going to be caught in the stitching. So when I turn the neck band inside out, the neck facing inside out, the two ties are encased between the purple and the black. And the green is sandwiched inside. Now it's time to do some hand stitching. I don't know any other way of doing this. I think you have to hand stitch it because you don't want any color leaking from the other side. In hindsight, I would recommend that before you attach the sleeve, which I was going to do, and do it with a French seam, because there is no gathering on the seam and no easing, so it's possible to have that same effect. Is that before you do that, that you handle your harmonic wave pattern that's on the sleeve. So as you can see here, I have sandwiched the purple and the black with the green in between. And what's tricky about this is that you have to attach the peak of the curve. You have to attach it to the valley of the other colors, as you're seeing right here. So I did this step first and then pressed in place before I attached the sleeves to the actual garment, because the sleeve is also going to have casings sewed in place in order to run your elastic through to get that beautiful ruched effect that you see at the edge of the sleeve. I cannot recommend doing this basting step enough. I have since made this skirt again, and I did not baste on that, and I regretted it because I had to pull it out because one material had a bit of a stretch to it, and my even though my markings, my clips matched up, there was a little bit of a stretch, and I ended up having to struggle with this curve. So I recommend heartily that you baste it in place first to make sure that you're going to have the effect that you like. After a good pressing to make sure that my wave pattern is laying flat, it was time to attach the purple to the black. So I pressed them, and then I'm going to top stitch and start making my markings to run the channels to run the ruching. Once I completed the ruching, then it was time to run the elastic. And believe it or not, with this material, this was the hardest part of this entire process. It took me a long time to run the elastic through this particular material. Now, this is the same process I followed for the skirt. Because I eliminated the pockets, because I did not think the pockets worked with the double-sided, I did put the pockets on the skirt set that I made after I made this outfit. But I did find that running the elastic through the waistband of the skirt and running the elastic through this, the cuffs, was the hardest part of this entire sewing process. Once I completed the top, I did the same process with the skirt. I finished the sides of the top as well as the skirt with a French seam enclosing all of those little feathered edges inside the French seam. And then I was done. It's a beautiful set. Wait until you see it. I have to admit, this is one of my favorite makes of all time. The complexity, the colors, the different techniques. I really enjoyed it. I think they did a wonderful job in the design. I got to explore some finishes that I had not done before. And other than the ruching, which took a long time, it was a thoroughly enjoyable project.